There's people outside. Okay. This is crazy. So I popped out here yesterday because Esme Bianco filed civil suit. Is not crime. It's different against Marilyn Manson, and she finally filed this thing. But today, about I don't know, like 4 hours ago, Pacific time, his lawyer came up with something to say that I'm so glad that he finally speaking out. Not Manson, but his lawyer, which is great. We take that. And then this is what he said. Pretty interesting. Okay, so I can just go back to yesterday. Not really want to, but I can just do it really fast. This is what she filed yesterday. And I'm not going to just like pause and say why I don't like it, what I don't, because I think this whole thing is complete bullshit. The whole thing. And it just only takes, it's not about liking Manson or liking her as a person or with a musician or actress. I don't care. It's just basic human rights. We just can't just let people get away with it just because they happen to be famous or they happen to be women or they happen to be men. So this is really messed up. So this is what she said yesterday. I mean, she's been saying stupid things like for at least the last 3 months on Instagram. And I usually post a video last week saying Instagram is not a police station, so they should just file correctly. And I guess she was thinking the same thing because she finally did. So she's suing Marilyn Manson and the former manager, Tony Kula, which is ridiculous because Tony actually dropped Manson months ago because of all this stuff. But Esme's suing both of them because it seems like it was Manson's fault and Tony and everybody who was around because poor little thing, her, right? She alleged the singer raped her and sexually battered her. The complaint filed Friday, which is yesterday. Excuse me. California also claims that Brian Warner and Tony Kula Management Company violated human trafficking laws by bringing her from London to Los Angeles under the pressure to pretend that she was going to be in an acting music video. She was going to be in a music video. But he's been actually talking about this music video for a while. But anyway, it's not human trafficking. It's just a casting call, whatever. It's just cold work. So she came out to say that she detailed the abuse stemming from her relationship with Warner, that they were a couple in 2011. Listen, this is very important. 2011, right? She says that all this happened in 2011 and the whole thing went to the trash, right? Because he was abusing her, he was torturing her, he was raping her, he was starving her, he was not letting her sleep, he was not doing none of these things, right? Okay, check it out. I don't have a picture to show, but it's out there. In 2014, Esme attended Twiggy Ramirez and Lanny. At the time, Twiggy is Manson's one of his best friends, Manson's bass player. They're like brothers. Esme was attending Twiggy's wedding in 2014. She's saying that all this happened between 2010 and 2012. So I don't understand how she goes in 2014 willingly outdoors to a wedding with this guy who is supposed to be a monster, and she's going to Twiggy's wedding ceremony day because Manson was the best man in the wedding. How I didn't know this until like yesterday that they kept in touch so much that she even went to his best friend's wedding ceremony. That's like a lot. Like you don't just get somebody's, if you don't trust a person, if it's not somebody that you don't love and that you don't admire, that you don't respect, you're not going to invite them to your best friend's wedding. He invited her and she went. And there's pictures outlined that she's wearing a beautiful blue dress and in this wedding, hugging Twiggy, probably saying congratulations and whatnot. 2014. And all these allegations, she said that this happened between 2010 and 2011. No, she just goes on and on and on. This is yesterday, okay, about how she was human trafficked and also there was unpaid labor unpaid labor because she was picking up after Manson and just making some snacks for him and his friends. So this is unpaid labor on her book. So not only he was human trafficking her, but also he was making her cook and clean up and vacuum the floor. I don't know, and all this, because he's a monster and for no money. Because when you're somebody's girlfriend, you kind of, or somebody's boyfriend, you kind of do that. Sometimes you make snacks, sometimes you clean up. It's not unpaid labor, Esme. Okay, I went all this last night on a live I did last night, and I just cracked myself up with all this stuff. He forced drugs. Nobody can force you to take cocaine. Cocaine is one of those drugs that nobody can force you to take it. There's other things that somebody can put something on your drink. You don't know, oh my God, you faint, things like that. They can give you a pill mistaken for something else, and then you're all messed up. You don't force somebody to take cocaine. You can't force somebody's cocaine to go on somebody's nose. I mean, that's impossible, but this is what she says. I'll wash my face, and maybe I should, and my mouth will bleach if I was wrong, okay? But I don't think that people can force coke on people. It's not like she was passed out and he was injecting her with stuff, or he was, just giving her a drink and then messing her up. No, cocaine. Yeah, okay. Force me to do cocaine. Force me to inject to do drugs, and goes and claiming I want to commit sexual acts. Well, all the sexual acts we know about. Okay, this was funny. I mean, it's not funny, but this caught my attention today. The acts include spanking, biting, cutting, and whipping me and my buttocks, so her butt, breast, and genitals when we were having sex, all without my consent. Okay, do you remember that picture that she posted on Instagram of her back, which she says is her back? I don't think it is her back. And if it's her back, maybe it's something out of Game of Thrones or something like that. I don't know. That you can see these marks. They don't look like whip marks. They look like rope marks, but whatever. It looks like a really messed up, hurt back. Okay, she posted a picture of her back, and she was talking about her back over and over. And now in this, she failed to mention her back. So let's say this is the only picture that she has of evidence of his physical abuse or sexual/physical abuse is the picture of her back. Why she's not mentioning her back on the claim? See, because it didn't happen. That's why. So she did all this stuff yesterday. I went on it last night. I want to go on it again. Not also unpaid labor, but also he was injecting himself. He was like messing up with her immigration status. She could have been deported because Manson is this like powerful king. He has power over immigration government laws. No, he doesn't. But she said that he was messing with her immigration status. As one of the reasons that she was scared of him, and she was scared to even confront him because she didn't want to get deported and not be able to be in the United States and work as an actress, which I think this whole thing is BS because I think she had a work visa way before she met him. But that's my opinion. So, forced to perform unpaid labor, violating USA laws regarding human trafficking and regarding labor too, and regarding labor on immigrants because she's from the UK. So pretty much what she's trying to say is that he was using her to do all this stuff illegally, right? Okay. So more nonsense. The picture of the back, that got me. I was thinking about it when I woke up today. I woke up to this and I was like, well, if I have one picture, the only thing I have from this views is one picture, like Johnny and Amber. Like Amber Heard has like that one picture of the side of her face with a little bump. She has that one picture. She's been squeezing that picture for like 2 years. Okay, this is the same thing. She only has a picture of her back. Well, she says allegedly to be her back. Why she's not mentioning her back in this whole thing? I can't. It's so inconsistent. I can't. Why she's not mentioning her back? Either her back was never hurt That wasn't her back in the picture. Oh, that was like a really nice makeup job that she could have the from Game of Thrones, makeup artist or something. I don't know. Or it wasn't her back. And if it was her back, and she was really whipped and hurt, why she's not mentioned in this lawsuit? She's not even saying that. She says that it was her buttocks, her breasts, her genitals, her face, and her chest. Sometimes he would cut her chest during sex. Why she's not mentioning her back? She really put herself in a lot of trouble by doing this. It's really, she should have left it on posting on Instagram. But the minute you just go to court against anybody and try to do this character assassination thing, it's very freaking, she's in so much trouble. Okay, so also she's suing Tony Kula Management because they were making her work under no laws because she's an immigrant. She's from the UK. So if she was working here, then that was illegal. So they should have done that. Even if, from my point of view, Manson was letting her stay in his place and try to put her in his music videos and try to give her some work. But on her head, that was all bad. It wasn't bad in the beginning. Remember, this woman, this happened in 2011, and in 2014, she went to Tweety Ramirez, which is Marilyn Manson's best friend and bass player. She went to the wedding of Tweety and the wife at the time, Delaney. She went to their wedding in 2014. This is three years after this. So what happened? Like how? So I'm going to go, this is yesterday. But check it out. What happened today? My God, I'm so glad that I'm just reading this now and not like in a month. Okay, so what happened today is that finally his lawyer opened up. Finally, this is not like him talking, but at least we got somebody from his side of the story. So the last two claims a master whose real name is Brian. Oh my God, how many times they're gonna say Brian Warner? We know by now. We know. Back to his house, giving alcohol and drugs, locked in the bedroom. Oh yeah, the lock in the bedroom. I forgot to mention. Locked in the bedroom for days. Took her phone away. She wasn't communicating with her family and her friends. Okay, this is great. This came out today. So Marilyn Manson's lawyer name is Howard E. King. So I'm going to remember that name for the future because this guy's going to keep talking because he seems fearless and I'm so glad. So his attorney said, to be clear, this suit was only filed after my client, which is Manson, refused to be shaken down by Esme Bianco and her lawyer and given to her outrageous financial occurs and questions. Like she really wanted money. This is like the bomb right now because this show, we've been saying for a while. I thought it was a matter of like ghosting. She's mad at him, whatever. Not only that, probably, but his lawyer says right here that this suit was only filed after my client, Marilyn Manson, refused to be shaken down by Esme Bianco outrageous financial occurs. So I don't know how much money she has, but okay, this is the problem I have with feminism, my butt. Because if you really got hurt and you really are a victim, do you think you're just going to be like, well, I guess I can let this one go if you give me, 10 million or 5 million or 3 million. So I guess we can settle down. No, this shows you more and more that none of this happened. Didn't happen the way she's saying it happened. It didn't. And then the lawyer, Manson's lawyer, said we will vigorously contest these allegations in court, and we are confident that we will prevail. Oh my God, love it. Finally. So this is like the first word that we have from his side of the story in about 4 months. It's been forever. So even if he's not talking, the fact that his lawyer is saying this is pretty cool. So yeah, Manson is accused of letting Bianco leave his home without permission, chasing her around. This is a new one. Chasing her around with an axe. Oh, that's not new, but this is new. Cutting her with a Nazi knife. Not any knife, but a Nazi knife. They're really trying to squeeze the guy. I mean, they know the stuff that he's into. They've been to his house. They know the stuff that he has around. It's like if you say that I try to kill you with this candle, okay? Because I like candles. So you're gonna say, oh, I come over to her house and she make her coffee and mac and cheese, and that was unpaid labor, and and then she threw a candle on my face. Yeah, there's a candle here. So that's what you're gonna say. Manson has Nazi knives. He collects knives. This is not a new thing. He's been collecting knives for a while. The same with Johnny Depp. And they're using this against them. It's so messed up. I mean, yeah, it's messed up to collect Nazi memorabilia. I don't know. It is. I wouldn't do it. But this is what he does, and so a lot of people do. And it's not really illegal to collect knives at this point, at least. And now. So then she said that she deals with complex. I never heard this before, and I am going to this psychological point of view because I have a bachelor in psychology and criminology, and I'm telling you, I never heard about complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a cluster of, it can have OCD and anxiety plus the traumatic stress disorder. So it's a cluster, it's called cluster. It's a cluster of disorders. But I never heard the word complex before. They're just trying to make it really dramatic. So if she has this traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, more than any of us, because of what he did to her, supposedly, I need to see a document of her psychiatrist. This is not something that you go to the pharmacy and say, hey, I got some trauma. Like, do you have medication for that? That she needs to show documents that she has what she has. Maybe she does have it. Or maybe she has it because something else happened to her. A lot of people have things like this and they don't even know why. A lot of people have symptoms like this and they don't even know why. And maybe something happened in their life when they were kids. Something happened a year ago. It doesn't have to be Manson's fault, but I don't think that she has post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't think so. When we talk about the starvation and how he was starving her, and yesterday on my video last night, I went and actually looked up how tall she is and how much she weighs, and she's 5'8". That's tall. I'm 5'6". She's 5'8", and she's 121 pounds. That's skinny, and she's been skinny her whole life. This is not she got skinny because of Manson was starving her. Another thing that is funny to notice is like all the pictures that you see of them are either in a club or a restaurant or outside, because she was like locked in this graveyard with no food and not seeing the light of the day. And all the pictures of them that you see, at least not the private pictures, whatever, but the paparazzi things, they're outside, going to clubs, coming back from a sushi restaurant, going back to a restaurant, going to a coffee shop. She's outside. She doesn't seem that she's starved. She's being skinny. This chick is skinny. She's skinny now. She was skinny before. She was probably always going to be skinny, and she's an actress. Actors have to stay skinny. They have to stay a certain way. So she weighs 121 pounds. Manson, no Manson, after Manson, before Manson. I don't think that she changed that much. But what got me is the fact that she went to Twiggy's wedding in 2014. I did not know that until last night. It was in my head going, how the hell? How did she pull this up? Like, when people knowing that she actually went to this guy's wedding in 2014. And she's saying this happened in 2011. I mean, yeah. So Rolling Stone magazine, you guys suck but for just putting this without checking any facts, but I guess they're just doing what they have to do. But yeah, no facts checking whatsoever. No documents of her diagnosis of having anxiety or having OCD or having post-traumatic stress disorder. No documents of the medication that she takes. If you do have those disorders, you just don't go around taking vitamins and waiting for the thing to go away. It takes medication. It takes a lot of work. You got to go to groups. You got to go to meetings. You got to go to therapy. You got to take meds every single day if you have post-traumatic stress disorder. And I don't know. There's no documents of any of that. She kind of staged a picture of these like pill bottles on a white table. And she posted on Instagram and saying, the caption was like, I have to do this every day because of my abuser. Okay, that kid, that's anything. There's like, little orange bottles from Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid or Walmart or whatever, and that doesn't actually shows me that she's taking those, and it doesn't say what those medications are. So just because she's saying something from now on, I mean, a person who lies so much, nothing that she's going to say is going to be believable. I mean, she can put a picture of herself with a black eye at this point, and I don't know, a lot of whatever. Me, my opinion, I'm going to be like, no. After you talk about unpaid labor as a girlfriend and immigration problems because of Manson was messing with immigration status and human trafficking, after she said all that, I'm saying she can come up with a black eye, she can do a whole Amber Heard and produce a picture from 2011 with black eyes all over, and I'm not going to believe her. I'm not. And the fact that she forgot to say about that he hit her or he whipped her on her back. And in the lawsuit, the first page is that she's saying my buttocks, her butt, her, this part, breast, genitals, knife on the chest where they were having sex. She's not saying her back. And she posted a picture of her back on Instagram. So dumb. Like, seriously. You will think this has been thought for a couple of years, a few years. You think that she got that going on, that she has pictures of the knife marks that they were inflicted on her body. That's what she's saying. She will have pictures of something. Let's say you couldn't take pictures because you were in a position, you were tortured, you were freaking out. You're not gonna be taking pictures. Why she has a picture of her back? And she's not including her back in one of this. Nothing. Her statements do not include her back. Like every part of her body, but her back. So I love that his lawyer is saying that he thinks this is just because they failed to give her what she wanted. Probably just looking for so much money. And even if Manson has the money, it's not about money. It's kind of like with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's not about money. It's about people not thinking that you are a creep that rapes women and people not thinking you are a monster. That's like, you can't put price on that. Obviously she thinks she can, and that's what his lawyer is saying, that he believes this is being done because they did not cave in and they did not gave her what she was asking. How much she was asking, we don't know. We're probably not going to know, but it doesn't matter. I don't think she's a feminist. I think she's fake, just like Evan Roger Wood, and just like all her friends. And I'm going to do another video on what's her face, Ashley Waters. So there's an Ashley Morgan and there's an Ashley Waters. There's two, and I'm not going to talk about Ashley Morgan right now, but Ashley Waters is best friends with Esme Bianco, and Ashley Waters also says that she has post-traumatic stress disorder. Funny thing is, Ashley Waters was working with Tony Kula, which is Manson's management, in these videos. The music video, I want to kill like they do in the movies, that she was talking about, that she was being labor and human trafficked. So if that's true, then she's incriminating her own best friend, because Ashley was working for Manson at that time. So yeah, she's that dumb. Really. I'm going to put a picture of Ashley Waters. There's so many pictures of them together. They're not just acquaintances like in Hollywood, like maybe you know this person. No, they are best buddies. There's pictures of them in a pool. There's pictures of them in their house with their puppies. I mean, seriously. And how strange is it that Ashley Waters also is naming Manson as an abuser? Not in a sexual, they didn't have a sexual relationship, but everything else. Like he scared her, like he panicked her, he was working her 24 hours. Also, if she was around when Esme was being trafficked from London to LA, and Ashley was around working for Manson, then Ashley was also trafficking Esme. This is just ridiculous. And again, the last thing we know from him was what he posted on his Instagram, that I'm going to repeat it over and over because it's the only thing that actually makes sense. My intimate relationships have always been entirely consensual with like-minded partners. So yeah, he's not saying, well, that never happened. I never did that. Like-minded partners, consensual. See, that's the thing right there. She is gonna have a hard time trying to prove this, having no pictures of anything on her body besides that picture of her back, having no documents of the psychiatrist medications, and even if you don't have a psychiatrist, even some type of medical doctor, even a registered nurse might be able to give or prescribe her that. She has no documents on that. Otherwise, don't you think that she would have showed already? Like, she just loves to show everything off on Instagram, pictures of herself with her mascara running. There is this victim mentality, and they're making money out of it. And I'm talking about her right now, so obviously, and the attention that she needs, and because her career is in the shit. Seriously, she's not even Roger Wood. This chick has no job. So you work in Game of Thrones, and then the rest of your life is. She was great in Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, but I'm saying, and the rest of your life after that is just dedicated to throw somebody under the bus just because you're not happy with yourself, or you're not happy by the way that the relationship ended, or you're just in general a bitch. Yeah, I'm going to go look for pictures of Ashley Waters because it's really interesting the fact that those two know each other so much, and then they were together in Manson's residence at the same time between 2010 2011. So your best friend was trafficking you too. Not only Manson was trafficking her. That's not even a verb. Trafficking her, but also her best friend was involved. That is so stupid if she's involving everybody. Because if she does that, that means she's going to involve people that she actually likes, like her best friend Ashley. But I don't say best friend, I'll say just friend. So I had to send this to myself so I don't just forget. But this is the thing. There's pictures of Esme riding this guy. Like, she's on the back of this guy, like he was a pony or a horse or something, and they're totally bondage, fetish, signs to it, and that's okay. That's okay. People do that type of stuff. But she's using everything that she can. Absolutely everything. Then we have Sarah McNeilin. That one is another one that also has PTSD. Then there is Ashley Morgan. Also, Ashley Lindsay Morgan is a model. She also has post-traumatic stress disorder. And there's pictures on Instagram of her posing with Lily White, which is Manson's cat. I think the cat passed away. She's posing with his cat. I mean, I don't know. It's super traumatized. She seems very traumatized. Anyway, and then more of her saying, then he tied me to the chair and pushed me over. I was like, I only done this for 3 people. That's from Avon. So I'm not gonna just mix. Avon Realtor Wood is a different animal altogether. But Esme is taking like, oh my gosh, she's a star right now. She's the star of the witch hunt right now. That's honestly, honestly, and I'm never gonna forget Amy Rocha Wood, that she can laugh at a rape joke if it's a good joke. Yeah, there's a video of her saying that. She said, well, I've been raped, but I can laugh at a rape joke if it's a good joke. I mean, I can't. I mean, seriously. So yeah. So I love that his lawyer popped out today. We're gonna hear this name over and over probably. Howard E. King, that's the name of his lawyer. And he said, to be clear, this suit was only filed after my client refused to be shaken down by Mr. Bianco's and her lawyer. Outrageous financial questions, like outrageous. Probably she just wanted like 10 million or something. Doesn't matter. And even if he has the money, it's the point of like, if you're not gonna settle after somebody throw you, through the mud, throw under the bus, and make you look, like you're this powerful monster, rapist, torturer, and also you control immigration laws. And yeah, he's all that. If you were really hurt and you are a feminist, like she says she is, you don't settle for money. You just don't. Just that's the part that I don't. And his lawyer said we will vigorously contest these allegations in court. I'm sorry, my leg hurts. Allegations in court, and we're confident that we will prevail. Love it. That is the first thing ever that we heard from his camp, from his side. No, he hasn't posted nothing on Instagram. I think it's a good idea that he's not posting anything or he's not being reactive. So, and they make him look probably more guilty. I wish that Johnny Depp kind of like makes some type of a statement about Manson, just like Manson made a really good statement on Johnny's case. But maybe it is probably more complicated than it is what I'm saying. But yeah, I think they should kind of back up each other because Manson made a statement about Johnny in 2020, and probably Johnny's not making a statement about Manson because Johnny is in his own mess with we know who, and probably it's too soon for him to come out and say anything. But the fact that Esme, all this happened in 2011, and then in 2014 she went to Tui Ramirez's wedding as a guest. There's pictures online of her and on that wedding. She's wearing a blue dress, and it's a wedding outdoors. And Manson is there. He was Twiggy's best man and best, in the wedding because they're like brothers, those two. She was there, and that's 3 years after all the abuse that she's talking about. Oh, and also in 2014, she went to a tour to a show in LA to see him in a show, okay, way after, like 3 years after he raped and all this stuff. And she actually visited his tour bus. Probably that's when he said, hey, there's a wedding next week. You wanna go to a wedding next week? Oh yeah, cool. That's, I think, is what happened. Like that simple. And yeah, she has to talk about the knife and the Nazi memorabilia, just because we all know that he collects some of that stuff. He said it. He has videos and photo shoots and videos that he is wearing a jacket that he said that belonged to somebody. He has, I'm not saying he's a Nazi. I'm saying that he collects memorabilia, and there is actually nothing wrong with that. It's awful. I would not do it. I think it's scary, but he likes to collect weird shit. So just using that, like I said, it's like if you come over and you say that not only I abuse you, but I throw candles at you because you know that I love candles. I have like probably 25 candles, but only one lit. But you're just using what you know about the person. So yeah, unpaid labor, unpaid girlfriend. Yeah, well, I'm still thinking that she should have said that her back was hurt too if she had 2 brain cells left, but she didn't. She didn't. She didn't. Man. It would be so much more believable if she says that. If she says her breast, her arms, her chest, her face, and her back. Then we put that statement next to the picture of her back. I still would not believe it, but I'm saying that some people will believe it. And I might just look better in court, but she didn't mention it because she's so dumb. It's really sad because I think that she is a good actress, and I really like her character on Game of Thrones. And I just don't want to hate on somebody and another woman, but also at the same time, I can't like. At the same time, it's like what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I just can't sit here and say, well, yeah, they all must be really, they're right. They're all right. All of them are right. And just believe at face value. I don't believe at face value what my children tell me. Okay. My son is, my daughter is 10. I don't believe them at face value because, people make stuff up. And it's just, why do I have to believe these strangers at face value? with no documents, no pictures, no doctor documents, no emergency room documents, no psychiatrist documents, no police reports. Of course, there was never a police report. Never. She never called the cops on him. Never. No audio. Like Amber, her and Johnny. At least they have this. Probably doesn't really help her case because in the audio she sounds like a maniac. But they have this audio. They have some pictures. Johnny has pictures of his finger being cut. These people have nothing. So I don't know how are they gonna go on absolutely nothing. And I don't know why I'm going on 35 minutes. I don't know why my hair is such a mess. I didn't do anything. I just put it down and I was like, I'm just going to get in the computer and just like do this. Yeah. And I will be back later with Ashley Waters and tell you all who Ashley Waters is and how this whole thing is related. This whole thing, big time.